everyone.
Good morning, happy Friday.
Oh, what a gorgeous morning.
It is a gorgeous morning, and this is the winter edition.
It is. It's round 3.
It's round 3, ding ding.
Round 3 with myself and Tim with Cacao on a blanket.
Chin up.
And today we've done one up here before, haven't we?
We have. We were
Badbury Rings.
we were right
in
at
the
the top.
UK.
If you can see behind us, the very first video that we did together was actually in the centre of the clearing.
Yep.
And it's near that that kind of compass thingy that tells you where it's like 20 miles as the crow flies to Witchhampton or Cranbourne or all the rest of it. So we're in a slightly different location.
We've just done the outfit today.
Yeah.
And it's just stunning.
It is gorgeous.
We've just been sat here, haven't we? Like, taking it in. Sun's coming up behind us.
The winter edition.
Oh, yes, so cold. I have cold ears.
Yeah.
I have got cold ears. Oh, so, now that we've arrived.
Well, we've got a few things that we want to talk about this morning, haven't we?
We have. What's been going on?
Well, this is it. We are now in the final month of this really intense year.
Yeah.
And last time we came together, we were at the river, and we were discussing about the kind of the physicality and the kind of the realness of the situation that we're going through. I think after a bit of toing and fro, we've kind of decided that it would be nice to just have a little look at our relationship to what we call the matrix or reality, and how it's affecting all of us.
Yeah.
Due to the intensity of the changes. I've always, and I've been noting it throughout the year, Karen, how you have managed to extricate yourself from what we would regard as the trappings of the matrix. So
Thank you.
when we say, as light seekers on the ascension pathway, ascension aspirants, we have a tendency to get to a point where we declare our freedom.
Yeah.
Now, I think this is quite an interesting thing to look at, because how much of that freedom do you have to declare? In what way do you have to declare it? And when are you truly free from what we would call, or many of us would regard as, the trappings of the third dimensional matrix?
Yeah. We were saying about how it's you have to be real with yourself, create and change. I have found this year has been, the word coming to me is a bit of a circus.
Yeah.
It's been crazy lessons, but do you know what a blessing, honestly, my heart just like sings. I've seen so many people that if they weren't awake at the beginning of the year, they are now.
Yeah.
Right? So they are now. And the amount of people that are stepping into a space of, I want to create a different reality for myself. And that is just so heartwarming.
It really is.
It's beautiful to witness. It's beautiful to be one of those people stood in the circle with everybody who the others that are doing it. And you're right. How do you get to getting to your own freedom? By making the changes truthfully.
That's the important part.
To yourself.
Is honesty.
For others. Yeah.
It's honesty. It's being utterly transparent with yourself in your relationship to the world around you. And Whereas you can be, I mean, say for the sake of example, many of us are feeling that very almost primal urge to return to nature. We want to live off grid. We want to be free of the matrix. We want to be in the forest or by the sea or on top of a mountain, providing for ourselves.
The roots.
Absolutely. Back to the absolute roots of it. But for many of us, and if I'd say probably 99% of us at this precise moment in time, the physicalities of that isn't always practical.
Yeah.
So where do you gain your freedom from? When you are faced with the physical, practical realities of living on a planet as we do, that has been set up as it has. We have everything is changing from the inside out. Finances, schooling, politics, healing, medicine, it's all changing.
Yeah.
But I personally, and this is what we were just talking about before we went live, it's about our state of mind in relationship to where we are within the matrix.
Yeah.
So we know now, or we should know, that our state of mind is our freedom, our relationship to what we are going through is our sovereignty. And so you can claim your freedom, but if you are not free within your mind, if you are still bound by your emotional state when you are tested, and believe me, we have all been tested this year. This is the beauty of it. Without the tests, we wouldn't awaken. We wouldn't see more people coming to this ascension pathway. Yes, they are grueling. Yes, we shout and throw our toys out the pram and curse our guides and our teams of light when we're going through them. But afterwards, you're like, actually, I can see why you did that. And that's that. It might not feel that is a happy place to be or something that you're grateful for at the moment, particularly with the way, I mean, we've got retrogrades galore. We're in Mercury retrograde at the moment. We're about to go Mars retrograde, and it's in my sign of Leo. And we've got Saturn activity kind of moving Pisceanly through everything that we don't really want to look at. And that seems to be the way that things are. We do something, we experience it, we celebrate it because we've passed it in the best way that we possibly can. Then all of a sudden we have to revisit it again.
Yippee! I was very aware when you were saying then, Tim, about how within the mind, that how your mind is in the matrix is how where you'll sit, how you'll see it, how you'll be. And this is why a lot of the work people are doing is also within their body, isn't it? Because people that know, obviously I do a lot of work with it's the mind, body, the soul, the whole thing. And our bodies have been holding. Our bodies have been holding in a trauma response. They've been holding to survive. And we are really coming out of survival mode. And I just feel 2025 is going to be people coming out of understanding within themselves, this is what it's like to be out of survival mode. This feels free, this feels beautiful. And there's the freedom. That's the freedom.
You've just absolutely hit the nail on the head with that. The freedom is being able to operate under any circumstances, regardless of what our tests are, and still be able to move free and still be able to move within mind, body and soul in a state of non-crisis. So it's almost as if we give up the state of freedom that we're looking for comes from giving up the crisis mode, the being in a state of panic-stricken survival, anger, lashing out, blaming others for situations that we're going through, whether there are others to blame or not, or whether there's an institution or a say, a governing body that's responsible for the difficulties or the hardships we're experiencing. So the true freedom comes within the unshackling of the mind.
Yeah.
That's where the secret lies. So this might sound like we're kind of glossing over people's problems, but it's not, because you have to dig in and you have to find out where your triggers are, where the roots of it is. And this is, and I know you are such an advocate for the shadow work. You've been cheerleading the shadow work right from the word go. Back in the day, so I was like, ooh, shadow work, ooh, I don't need to do that. I'm such a being of the light, I don't have to do shadow work and all the other nonsense.
I'm like, it will chase you.
It will chase you and it will catch you.
It will chase you and it will appear. Sorry.
It will chase you, it will catch you, and it will bite you on whatever butt cheeks available, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't. This is the thing with shadow work. It won't go. It doesn't go away.
No.
I was very lucky on my path. One of the blessings I had was that I was sort of forced into. My guides took me to therapy very early.
Yeah.
So I've always welcomed change. I've always welcomed I need to do this work to see a difference, to create. So I've always been someone who likes to step into a space of, right, what do I need to learn here? How can I change this? How do I make myself a better soul for me and people around me? And I look back and I think, oh, why did that all happen that pushed me into that space? But like you say, you thank your guides now, and I know that it was all for a reason.
Absolutely.
For my path, for this path. And I just think, do you think people are scared of shadow work?
Do I personally think people are scared of shadow work? Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do think. I think one of the third dimension was convinced us that we did not have to be responsible, that somebody else was to blame. So when you turn that round and you begin to go inwards and you realise that you are responsible for your world, you are responsible for how you respond to things, you are responsible for creating an individual and a shared reality, because you're adding to it. Obviously there's when we talk about creating our own reality, sometimes that becomes a little bit of a cliche, because there's so many other people out there doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you have an individual biosphere and you have a collective biosphere of reality. And so what are you adding to? How many other people are kind of sharing that platform of energy that you're just throwing emotions into? And this is why 4 years ago I was very strongly guided to start beating the drum of like standing back from the things that we are being really. It was at the beginning of all of the lockdowns and everything, and like naturally we were presented with something that we'd never seen before, we'd never experienced before. It was created in a unique way that triggered us in such a way that we could only either be part of it or step back and analyse. So stepping back and analysing from a higher perspective is always something that, you know, like we recommend fully whenever we're presented with a situation that is outside of our understanding or our current level of understanding. Until you can see clearly or understand it from a perspective that's not attached to an emotional state, I don't believe that you can analyse it fully. Not from the perspective of the heart anyway. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just soaking that in. That's something I notice with us, is you're a man of many words, and I'm very just like flow along, just sort of flow along, feeling it all. How's the heart, and just having that, just taking that in for a moment.
It's like the explanatory thesaurus comes out, doesn't it? It's like, how can I analyse this wordily?
Yeah, people go, she's zoned out. No, I'm not zoning out. I'm just taking it in, taking my time, seeing how that feels.
Yeah.
And listening and learning.
It's very much like how the Japanese communicate. When I was working with my lovely friend Donnie Amoris, who has got big roots in Japan, and communicates every word is thought about before spoken. And initially, when you're used to toing and froing and communicating, it's resetting your pace at that, and it works. It's beautiful.
Slowing down. This is why we're getting more into the meditative state. This is why we're calming the nervous system. This is why we might be shifting and then allowing it to relax. We did an event last night, wasn't it?
It was lovely.
Well, I held an event and Tim came along, so it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Man cave, and even there, like, new guys, new people, and I was just like, yeah, you go. Do you know what I mean? I just love the ownership that people are. I see that as very eagle. You know, they're just taking that flight. They're being up there and just soaring and just like, okay, seeing where they're going to go next in their power of their own wisdom. And it's just so beautiful. And just people are just tapping into seeking that medicine.
Yeah. It's
that is theirs, and that's special.
A message has gone out to so many souls who maybe you would look at and you would not consider awake. They have received the memo to begin to search for something that is far greater than the limitations of our previous realities. And so we are seeing that last night. I mean, Man Cave is run straight after an hour and a half's intensive kickboxing lesson. You know, we've all got a big weekend coming up in our club, and so this beautiful space that you held for an hour last night was just literally what we needed more than anything else, just to detune, get the nervous system to just go, thank you, and so everybody left just feeling, what were we worried about? You know, like, remind me what I was worried about previously.
To me, Tim, that was because they allowed themselves to stop.
Yeah.
You allow yourself to stop, you allow yourself to be present, and actually realise that that's all that ever matters.
Yeah.
Is that present moment that you are in. That's where you truly connect, when you stop and you just be. Comes the siren.
Belting along the
Warning,
Badbury Rings
warning.
Road.
Everything's a sign.
Everything is a sign, absolutely.
How have your synchronicities been?
My synchronicities have been, I've had, you know my story so well, Karen, like running up particularly to this weekend, and I'll talk about what goes on this weekend maybe next week a little bit more. I'm kind of keeping it close to my chest at the moment, but it's a big test. It is a big test coming up.
Yeah.
And with my run up to this, like you mentioned earlier on, it's so physical at the moment.
Yeah.
We're beginning to be taken into our bodies in a way that we have not experienced previously. So the body is communicating. This is an important point, I believe, that our bodies are communicating with us more loudly than they ever have done before, because obviously we are asking our bodies to live at a higher frequency now, in truth, in freedom. And so the body is saying, well, I need to learn how to coexist with this higher vibration. And thank you. And I cannot do so if I'm holding on to density or anger or trauma within the fields.
You just keep bouncing about, don't you?
You
like
do.
Back and forward. If you're working with the mind, but the body's holding, the body gets triggered, then the mind's like, what's going on? So it's about understanding all of it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So this, concluding this year, I'm slightly staggered that it's moved as fast as it has. And if I look back to
let's just take a moment
to
acknowledge what a year.
What a year. You know,
wow,
on the pathway, we have all got cause wherever we are at this moment, to really congratulate ourselves. You might be listening to this thinking, I have got absolutely nothing to celebrate at this moment in time. I feel like I've been run over by a steamroller and then it's reversed over me or something like that. It depends on how you view what you're going through, what the current tests are, how physical they are.
And how much you're stepping into it.
Absolutely.
And owning, and that it comes back to that, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does.
You keep having the same lessons. Okay, well maybe something needs to change.
Yeah.
I've had it with, dare I say, relationships.
Yeah.
Tim gets the dramas of that from me. And I've had to really find ways to heal my masculine woundings because, well, I'm attracting it. I'm attracting that.
There's so many people that are healing
have to
that
own
at the
it.
moment. There's so much forgiveness. There's so much coming up around that because, again, we have to coexist at a higher frequency. Not just with ourselves but with one another.
Yeah.
And again, I also believe that truly this freedom that we seek is having that ability to coexist with one another, having taken responsibility for our traumas.
Yeah.
That is so important, again, because otherwise we move into these scenarios, these friendships, these relationships, these coexistences, and as soon as we do, all of the things that we haven't looked at begin to surface, which is again on the other. I think when we move into January, it's going to be such a fresh template and it's going to be very high frequency that we will all kind of step into it and go, now I can see why I went through that again and again and again, and it's come up in the way that it has.
Yeah.
And you've also mentioned, I can remember you speaking about it, how you feel that a change of huge magnitude is coming.
Yeah, as we know, we receive things.
We do.
Let's say that. And we were talking yesterday about, there's messages coming through strongly that 2025 is
going to be a whopper.
Something huge is about to happen.
It's going to be a whopper with cheese.
Can we not advertise meat?
Yeah, I was like, a vegan whopper with cheese.
Poisoned.
Yeah.
That's worse. Yeah. Those chemically made foods.
Oh, that's awful stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, it's something spectacular. And what I'm being asked to say is to just keep your heart open, to be going into what's coming through, to receive what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Because we can be coming towards the end of this year, feel like we've lost a battle within a little bit. But to understand that if you start shutting down, you're almost playing in the game.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it's about trying to keep that heart open so you can receive what is for you. Because it's there, isn't it?
It is there. I'm really excited about next year.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely excited because I do feel that the years that we experience on this pathway are designated cycles.
Right.
So this year has been about the physical, next year is going to be about something very expansive. And we're coming together in January, aren't we?
We are, we'll mention that now.
Yeah, we'll mention that now.
We'll mention that now as we're talking about the beginning of next year. 11th.
And the 12th.
Yeah, 11th and the 12th of January. We're going on a road trip.
Yeah, we're going to be up north.
We're going on a road trip.
We're going to be up north.
We're going out to see Jill, the Gong Whisperer. She is holding a beautiful event, and she's got Aaron, the Conscious Man.
Yeah.
I've met Jill. I haven't met Aaron, but I'm really looking forward because I love his stuff, the work that he does. And a little bit of funky music on the Saturday evening. So
it's going to be a 3-part event. So we've got the Saturday daytime, we've got the Saturday night, and then we're diving deep again on the Sunday. It's going to be fabulous. So
There's
what?
crystals,
It's gonna
energy,
be
soul flow, gong bar,
Yeah.
movement,
You name
sound
it.
journeying, breath work.
You name
Wow.
it. We're going to have it there.
Wow,
So
yeah.
the details of this will be underneath this video to let you know
Yeah.
how to sign up if you're drawn to join us, because
Yeah.
we're looking forward to this. It's going to be
I'm
great.
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Starting the year, how exciting.
Absolutely.
And it's on both our websites as well, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
is. We're both advertising it.
So
It's going to be exciting, especially with Jill's magnificent gongs. I'd never seen anything like them before. She turned up with them before. They're just incredible.
yeah, she
and
came down here and did one, didn't she,
That's
for
right.
us a little while ago?
Yeah.
And yeah,
They're
it's
just phenomenal.
beautiful, beautiful
Phenomenal.
medicine that she offers.
Yeah.
Oh, just thinking about it now.
Yeah, excellent.
Thinking, so yeah, please come and join us. If you're in the area or travelling like we are,
Yeah.
what a space to start that 2025 11-1.
Yeah. Fresh out the traps and into the woods.
Yeah, it is. We have got one of the second day is outdoors, isn't it?
It is. It
so
is.
the Saturday is
It's
in
gonna be
a
inside.
venue, and then on the Sunday I think it's outdoors. How
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Bring your hats, your wellies, your waterproofs.
I might have to put socks on.
You might have
I
to.
might get cold
It's like,
feet.
God forbid.
Oh no, the thought of that makes me itch.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, yeah, how lovely. So, thinking of, as we're stepping out of 2024, heading into 2025, where do you feel you're at with the connections, the deepness of the work that we have been asked to do, that you're about to step into? I almost see it like a new version of
Yeah. I think by the
What's
end of this
coming?
year,
how it is.
by the time we hit the December solstice, all of us can be looking at ourselves as a completely new version of the person that begun the year. And although we kind of go through that process on a year-to-year basis anyway, I don't think the transformation has ever been as intensive as it has this year. I've never experienced. I keep saying it. It's like I feel like I'm like repeating myself slightly. I've never experienced a year like it. I've never had a year on the ascension pathway that has been this liberating, challenging, and downright exciting, because the things that are coming up are beginning to indicate very clearly that we are not just talking about change, we are experiencing, witnessing and participating in a complete transformation of the reality. This isn't just the individual realities, this is the collective realities. We are seeing so many people. Just like last night, a little sprinkling of an indication of people who are being drawn into working with themselves. But you know, and if it's happening with us, it's happening everywhere else. That's all there is to it.
And I spent yesterday, before that, sat in the woods with a group of beautiful ladies, cacaoing and chatting and connecting and dancing, and it's just, the reality is changing for many on so many levels.
It is.
A lot of relationships have broke down. A lot of relationships have recreated, weaved differently together. It's definitely been a year for out with the old,
In with
the
the
new.
new. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It has. Are you going to mention about what you're up to this weekend, or are you not?
Yeah, I have.
You don't have to.
No, I think a few
How are
people.
you feeling?
I'm feeling good for it. I'm feeling
Okay.
good for it, Karen. Thank you. I've got my 3rd degree black belt on Sunday,
Yep.
and the lovely Karen is my examiner.
You're standing there side by side with 4 other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 other well-trained, well-drilled, slightly nervous souls from our club, and we're going to throw it down and leave it all in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
And
So,
again, this is that self-achievement, isn't it?
it is.
That pushing your body
Yeah.
to the max to show what you're capable of.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. It makes my mouth water when I think about it. I love that space.
We've said this is what martial arts is the body's good for, isn't it? It's that pushing the body to its limit, pushing the mind to its limit.
Yeah.
Even in stillness, even in the movement.
It's just something so addictive, not addictive, just something so cleansing about that environment, about taking yourself through that and achieving it or not achieving it, as the case may be, and just knowing that you've done absolutely everything that you possibly can to get through that period of time. So I'm excited and nervous, obviously.
Good. Nerves are good.
Nerves are good. Nerves are good when they're channeled in the correct way.
Absolutely. Nerves are good when they're used
Yeah.
for what they're there for.
Channeled for a force. Yeah. So I will be reporting back with the results of this next week.
Yeah. How exciting times, exciting times. It just started making me think about fight or flight and the nervous system and all of it coming up.
It all comes up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's what a way to finish this year though, thinking that, you know, if this year has always been about battling the self, and then it's like you've got this final thing at the end of hopefully achievement for yourself. You've held space for so many people this year, so this is beautiful for you to hold this space for yourself. So so yeah, turn up and just do what you do.
I'll be there.
And you'll be fine. You'll be fine. If not, I'll shout at
you. Yeah, and there's no mercy given, just to let you know.
It's part of the challenge. It's beautiful.
It is.
Okay. I think we should just sit here for a moment and just let people take in that sunshine behind.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
And I hope wherever you're seeing this or whenever you're seeing this that you're having a beautiful day and you're slowing yourself down. You're using your words with purpose, you're living in your heart and being true to your one self.
And just remember what true freedom means.
Yeah.
How we free ourselves, how we become free in this amazing reality that we are co-creating for ourselves. So,
that's beautiful. So I want to thank you, Tim.
Well, thank you,
for
Karen,
meeting me here.
on this chilly morning.
On this chilly morning.
And providing me, as you always do, with the most amazing cacao.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's beautiful, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just warming our hearts.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Opening that channel for divine conversation every time.
Absolutely.
Every time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So from us here at Valerie Riggs.
Yay.
Okay. Until next time.
There will be another one.
Yeah. Sending you so much love.
Lots of love, everybody.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.